Hey everyone, welcome back to Finish in 5. Today we're going to be going over Sabertooth from the X-Men United Kickstarter. You know, we're going through these guys using primarily Army Painter Speedpaint. Starting out with a nice Zenithal Prime here. We're going to, first color we're going to use is Pallid Bone. This is a real nice light tan or yellow color. We're going to start with this because we're going to use light colors first and then work our way up to the darks. So we paint the fur around his neck, his sideburns, and we'll paint the top of his hair sticking out over top of his hood, or whatever that thing is that all those 90s X-Men characters wore that kind of framed out the face. So, we'll paint this here real quick, and you're going to see how quickly this guy's going to come together using a very minimal amount of colors. The next color is Crusader Skin, and we're going to use this just to paint the area around his face right here. And once this goes back so you can see his whole face, this is a nice color. You'll be able to see how this really builds up the definition fast thanks to that Zenithal. So you can see his eyes, the area around his mouth there. It's a simple color to use. Sand Golem is the next color, and this color pretty much spot on matched what 90s Sabertooth looked like. So if you watch the cartoon on Saturday mornings, you know that Sabertooth was about this color. It's like a nice leathery orange type color. It just goes on nice. We paint his whole bodysuit with this, and this really starts to bring the character to life. It's such a good color. We're going to start working on his gloves next, and for that we're going to use dark wood. This is probably the darkest brown in the speed paint range so far. So we're going to put this on pretty thick onto his gloves and on that cowl. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, what do you call that thing? So we put this around his face. Try not to get this onto the lighter areas. So use a smaller brush, take your time, and don't get it on his hair. Don't get it on his face. It's kind of a pain to go back and clean up those areas afterwards. After we paint around his face, we're going to paint the big stripe going down the front of his bodysuit there, the marks on the side of his legs, and the stripe on the back of his bodysuit. After we get that, you can't forget to paint the tips of his toes. For whatever reason, Sabertooth had that done too. And you can see after just 4 colors, this guy's pretty much done. You can stop right here and be tabletop ready to drop him in and play him as a villain in Marvel United. But we're not done yet. It's finished in 5, not finished in 3, so we're going to work on his base now. We're going to take hardened leather, and it's a different shade of brown, so we're going to use that to paint this tree trunk, so everything doesn't look too uniform or too similar. And then we come back with that Pallid Bone, and we're going to paint the middle part of the tree trunk there. Nice and simple. I want to try to do something different for his base. You know, if you watch the other ones, I just kind of use the gray or the black and get it all over there and call it a day. We're going to go for a snowy base here, so we're going to take Filthy Suit, which is just a gray from Army Painter, and we're going to paint on these rocks. I'm going to take a little bit of blood red and lightly drop it here into his mouth so that we can have some nice red inside of there. That was easy enough. Now I'm going to take some dead black and I'm going to paint the area around the inside of his eye. I want that pupil to really pop out since I'm not going to do a whole lot of detail work in there. So I'm going to take my time and paint the eyeball all in black. And now it looks like a Funko Pop. So me and Holy White have this weird relationship. Sometimes it works really well, other times it doesn't. I put on here, and much like with Wolverine, I'm just not super happy with it. I was trying to go for a snowy base, I painted over top everything, and I should have probably just went back and dry brushed it with some white. But it is what it is. I'm going to take some Liquitex white ink, and I'm going to dot in his pupils there. You can see how that really pops out against that black background. And then take the time. And I'm going to paint his teeth. Sometimes I'll mix that white with a little bit of regular white acrylic paint just to thicken it up some and help it stick. But I'm happy with the face. Sabertooth is a villain, so we're going to paint him with a red rim. This is Saloon Red. We're going to paint it all around there, get a nice vivid coat on him. And just like that, Sabertooth is done. We'll get a nice 360 shot of him here. You can see thanks to that Zenithal, we got a lot of nice contrast and tones out of really just, like I said, 4 colors. Let's go ahead and pop them off of the hobby holder, put them here in the case with everyone else, and that is half of the core set already finished. We got a few figures left to go. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see me start open next.